After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 428. Today is Saturday, November 14th, 2020, as we are recording. My name is Marlecia, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy. I nearly fell on her. My ankle gave way.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. If you are new, we're glad that you found us. We hope you find something that you like and that you'll continue to join us in the future. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. And if you are in the shadows, either new or returning, please feel free to join the YouTube channel officially. Just hit the little subscribe button on your right and the little bell so you get notifications. And if you want to join us over at the PHN homepage, that's where all the alongs and camaraderie and coupon codes and all the cool stuff takes place over there, okay?
Yes.
And that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net.
I guess at this point we probably should mention, even though we never do, we do have a Patreon.
But I'm not done yet. Wait till I'm done.
Okay.
phnpodcast.freeforums.net. And now we can say the Patreons.
That's what I was going to... You said that already.
I wasn't done yet.
Okay, I thought you were done.
No, you don't listen.
So, as well as to join us at the PHN home, which Mom gave you the address, is also in the drop-down box.
That's what I was going to say when you interrupted.
As are links to both of our Etsy shops, to both of our Instagrams, I think also to both of our Lovecraft shops.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also have a link to Patreon down there as well. We have a Patreon. No pressure. We just have some things like a Zoom meeting once a month and
a live stream.
Once a month.
And tutorials and
patterns that early access to patterns, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was just that way we just get that. Yeah.
I was getting to that.
Hi.
No.
Hawaiian Punch?
No.
And I think it was Steph who asked if we had stopped playing the Oops's Bunny drinking game. No, I think part of it was I was feeling so poorly a lot of the times that, and also we were saying oopses often.
Yeah. So no, and I did answer her over there today. So,
and some of the things also is I think I started saying under my breath, which isn't helpful for people who are trying to hear it, because I actually had to stop myself on other platforms, like things not related to the podcast or even just in person. I'll say oops, and then under my breath, it's a bunny. Because it's just people probably think I'm wacko because
I have ceased to care what people think.
Oh, I didn't bring my pattern. I can't work on anything. I need to go get my patterns.
You mean I'll actually have uninterrupted speaking time?
For 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Wonder if I should heat up my heating pad. My spasms have
Don't
eased
be
a
too
little
long,
bit.
okay?
I know. My spasms have eased a little bit, so maybe I'll stop. I won't. Oh, my neck's kind of stiff.
Where's your pattern at?
My pattern is in my Kindle in my room, which is by the microwave. Do you want me to heat up the one for your wrist?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, just how long is that going to take?
No more than 30 seconds. If it's more than 30 seconds, it gets too hot.
Okay. All right, so that is kind of a
minute tops.
We'll see.
Too hot otherwise.
That is kind of a chaotic start to our podcast. But anyway, you can find us in all those places that we mentioned. And so I will now move on. We don't have any new official members this time around. Well, not on our homepage. We do have a couple of members I think are new, but we'll welcome them at the end of the podcast. Let's get into... I guess I can say what I'm drinking. Taya's not here to say what she's drinking, but I'll say what I'm drinking. I'm having, first of all, a stroopwafel. And the tea I'm drinking in my... This is Crystal, Chronically Crocheting's mug. She has a podcast. And it says on the back of it says Yarny friends that make the best friends. And in here I have Plum Deluxe tea. It's maple chai, refreshing, invigorating, and just wonderful. Black tea, oolong tea, apple pieces, cinnamon chip, cardamom, ginger, clove, safflower, maple syrup extract, love, gratitude, and caffeine. Yay for caffeine. This is the first time I've had this tea. I might have tasted it from Talia once or twice, but I don't remember. This is really good. It takes a little while to get the sugar to, get mixed in with the tea. It doesn't cover the tea, but it really gives it a little extra. So this is really good. I'm enjoying this. I hear her stomping, so she should be coming.
Hopefully this is hot enough.
You should do your tea. That should be fine.
Okay. I'm hoping mine's hot enough. Although I always find that
if you push against it, it's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do your tea.
Okay, let me put my neck pad on. And we'll talk about these a bit later in acquisitions. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. It smells like rice. Okay, in my All I Want Is to Hug All the Bunnies mug, is my Brunch in Paris black tea. So, this is a good tea. And I had for my snack, the reason why no beans, because someone else was like, no beans? When I don't have beans, it means I had something sweet before the podcast. And actually, I'm going to take this off so I don't get overheated. I don't think it messed up my hair too much. I have, you guys won't be able to see it, but I have 2 small braids feeding into a braid in the back. So I have 3 braids that are braided together. But I had to balance overheating with pain management.
That was one of my favorite teas from Andy.
Oh, this is so good. Do you want more?
You want some of this?
Sure. Can you get... Okay. Yeah, I really don't want to spill it on my projects. I don't want to take a lot of yours, so I know you didn't get as much water. I like mine better.
I like mine better.
Yours is a bit mild for me.
So that takes care of that. Excuse me.
And this is Brunch in Paris black tea. Has honey bush tea, cocoa nibs, orange pieces, orange essence. It says this is oh, it also says black tea. I was gonna say, where does the caffeine come from? Okay. This is so good.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just finish my cookie here. All right.
Yeah, I would have eaten Davina's. Davina made a point of making me gluten-free brownies, and she was super proud of herself, and I really have enjoyed them. But yeah, I didn't want to eat them on the podcast because they're really crumbly,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to make a mess.
Yeah, not in my room, please.
So that's why Mom's eating hers and I'm not eating mine, because hers is not as crumbly.
Well, normally I wouldn't eat on the podcast. I don't like to do that.
Except the bada bean, because you can have like a bean every 5 seconds or so. And apparently people miss my beans, so I do generally try to do a bean on the podcast.
Okay, so let us move on. After that rather chaotic introduction, we want to go ahead and move into, well, I'm not going to talk about upcoming just yet. Do that once we hit December. So let's get into the PHN Charity Cal Lal 2020. That has been going all year.
Is that helpful?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. That's been going all year long. So we started January 1st of this year, and we're going through December 31st, going into January 1st of next year. And this is all the charity things, okay? Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted, except for the masks. Those are sewn. Previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures be in the same thread. All charity projects will be accepted, but baby items will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize, as will the sewn masks. And any Franciscan Gypsies design pattern, my one shawl pattern, any Laura concert pattern that is used for charity will be 2 chances at a prize, as will anything that has an FO that is going to Brittany as a dishcloth, and the hat not hate. Okay, those are all 2 chances at a prize for the finished objects. If you use my yarn, which is Lady Critical Creations, or Lollipop Girl yarn, which is Laura Concert's yarn, for the FO, That's also 2 chances at a prize. And if you use the featured yarn with the featured pattern for an FO, that's 3 chances at a prize. And for those of you who are new, you are responsible for your own multiple postings. These postings occur in the PHN home group, okay? Now, okay, previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Let's see, chatter and picture the same thread. Okay, did that. Okay, 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's completed. For newcomers, if you've done a work in progress, say on a Monday or a Tuesday, and you finish it on a Thursday or a Saturday or something like that of the same week, you can do that FO the same time, in that same week. You can do the whip and the FO. Okay, it's just you can't do more than 1 whip of the same project during the same week. Okay. Hashtag PHN 2020 on Instagram. And our prizes for the 4th quarter: West Yorkshire Spinner's Yarn in the pheasant colorway that was donated by Mama C. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
And 2 skeins mohair min yarn donated by Mariette. Thank you, Mariette. We appreciate all our donators. Their generosity is amazing. Okay. Now the toy long is in its 2nd quarter. We're right in the middle of it.
Wow, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the toy along. This is our last. This set of alongs is our last set of alongs for 2020, and then we move into the ones for 2021. So that's kind of wow.
Yeah, it is.
You know, the rules are essentially the same for this, except there are no sewn projects. This is only there are no sewn projects, and there are and it's only 3 months for this one. Everything else is basically the same: knitted, loom knit, or crocheted. And let's see, the featured patterns: Franciscan Gypsy toys, Bakery Bear toys, Crocheting Hoovian toys, and then any toys done in my yarn or Laura's yarn. Same, not caveats, same rules. Multiple postings rules apply here as in the other one. Let's see. Hashtag PHN 2020 on Instagram. And we do have suggestions in the PHN home group for toys, but you don't have to use those. You can use any toy you want.
I almost feel like we're having unofficial worm along, and like we almost need like a thread for unofficial worm along, because this was Steph's fault. Steph's, right? Steph's fault. I know that Emma has picked up the bookworm pattern and intends on making a bookworm, and I kind of feel like we just need an unofficial worm along.
Yep.
Because
if we get enough people posting it, Rena, you're my eyes and ears over there. If you see a lot of those bookworms popping up, let us know. We might add it to the featured.
Yeah.
Although it's already featured.
It's already featured. My point is more like, do we want another thread where people can just post their worm army? I told Emma we have a worm army.
We'll see.
Doesn't have to be for prizes. It's just be worms.
Yeah, we'll see. The worms, unofficial worm along. Bookworms are eligible for 2 chances.
Guys, do you want an unofficial worm along?
Put it in the Dropbox or the PHN.
They can't put it in the Dropbox. They can put it in comments.
Well, same difference.
No, very much not the same difference.
Look, I don't have to be techie. They know what I'm talking about. Tell it to the hand. Okay.
You got to use correct terminology if you wish to be understood.
Tell it to the hand.
Hi, hand.
Okay, now. Okay, I do have prizes set aside for this along. I just don't have them handy. Okay.
Wow.
So, what?
It sounded like you were trying to pun off of your previous...
No, it was a reference. I just can't remember what the reference is from.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It doesn't help much if it's a reference you can't remember the reference is from.
This is why I'm drinking caffeine, okay? I have been suffering from inability to focus and to think.
I don't think they're calling for weather change, but I'll tell you, since they're weathered, but I'll tell you, it sure feels like it.
Yeah. Well, I have been known to be affected by weather that's not in this state, so...
I've heard other people say it, so I'm wondering if I am as well.
All right, we need to go into rough drafts, and I have 7.
And I have 9, which means I have to show something. Hold on, let me mark this. Just as I get comfortable.
La-di-da.
Okay, so... That means I show 2 for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get to get our haircuts in a couple weeks.
Thank heavens. I'm at the point where I'm just ready to chop it all off.
I know, it's awful. I'm ready to just stick a hat on my head.
Because I actually considered chopping it all off because I was having trouble figuring out what to do with it. I'm holding off for a little while. I'm going to try to see if I can braid it out of the way once the split ends are taken care of. But it's like, oh my gosh.
We'll talk a little bit more about that and the fabulous person our hauldresser is at the end of the podcast. Okay.
Okay, sorry, I needed a drink of tea. So, in my Autism Awareness, Blue Puzzle Pieces Autism Awareness bag by Kiki Boo Bags, I'm not sure if her Etsy shop is open again. I thought you said it might have been.
I think it is, or she was going to. I don't know if she
She
has.
makes a really good quality bag.
This is Denise. She used to be Knitting Den. I don't know if she still is.
Her bags really hold up very nicely, so I would highly recommend her.
And the bags are named after her daughter. I think her name...
Her nickname when she was younger was
Kiki Boo, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if she goes by Kiki
it might be
anymore.
Kiki, yeah.
Well, her name is Kiki. I wonder if a baby, or maybe they called her Kiki Boo when she was younger. I don't know. I'm theorizing. So these are Mom's fun mitts called the Cap Mitts. This is a patron-only pattern, at least at this time. I am speaking with the patrons, and we are... Well, we'll see if it might be able to be eventually out.
They're really good for that yarn. Those yarns that you don't quite know what to do with. It breaks it up.
And
nice.
they're comfy. So this is Mom's pair when she kept trying on my Booyakasha ones. Apparently she's going to try on this Booyakasha one.
Goes with my sweater.
Do you want to wear both of them for the podcast?
No, it's okay. I'll get overheated.
Okay.
There we go. See?
So...
and this is Booyakasha, my yarn Booyakasha.
These are actually both Mom's yarns.
Yeah, this is
and they
Booyakasha.
work out slightly differently.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't quite tell, but when I'm knitting it, this has like a little triangle in the middle.
One of the colorways I did for Valeria one
Maybe
year
a pyramid.
did that kind of a sideways triangle.
It was kind of cool looking.
Yeah. This is really nice weight.
So this one didn't make any sort of shape in the middle. I'm thinking maybe because there's more colors. I don't know.
Might be. It might be.
It just pooled slightly differently. And pooling is really cool in a in this pattern. Look, you can see where in the center you've got a slightly different. I'm not sure if it shows up very well on camera. But I'm not quite at the point of ribbing yet.
Right. I really like this pattern. I like the way it breaks up the variegated yarn. Booyakasha, this is from Michelangelo, for those of you who don't know.
And since I mostly knit color work or things with a texture, having options to knit with more variegated yarns is nice. And then I just bring this down if I want to knit. Sometimes I wear them just as comfort.
I like having this across, because sometimes I get sore here. Sometimes my muscles will spasm a little bit here. So... it's nice.
Mom, if this is starting to get cool, you can also flip it over and the other end will be hot.
Okay, good to know. Right now it's okay, but...
I tend to like it like uber hot.
I also like the weight of it.
It's a very nice weight, and we'll be talking more about these later because these are...
I'm sorry, we're going to be a little disjointed today because apparently we're just going to be disjointed
Well,
today.
I keep feeling like light is pushing into my head. So I think I'm trying to work on another migraine.
Wonderful. Let's get going then.
Weekend seems to be my migraine time. I mean, other parts of the week too, but particularly weekend.
Okay, you have one more to do.
I do, but I need a drink of tea.
You need one more to do.
I need tea. It isn't a want, it's a need.
You need to
Oh, if I show this, then I can knit on this, because I won't be in the middle of the row. Okay, so this goes with the hat that I was trying to wear, but with the heating pad, I was too hot to wear.
It's so pretty.
This was the something medicine hat.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember the designer. She's on Ravelry. She has multiple... She's on Lovecrafts, too. I just can't remember her name.
She's very talented.
It's something medicine hat.
Yeah. So I think I had all of her on my wish list.
I've knit a couple of her hats. She also has one called... I think it's Off With Their Heads, which is a heart one.
Right, that's right.
I think I knit that one, too.
I
have on my wish list to knit.
When I thought I would do color work, I have some of hers and all of Linda Moss on my...
She might be slightly better for beginner. Linda Moss does assume certain knowledge.
Right, but they're both very good.
They're both very good, but just to say, if you are a beginner color work knitter, I might recommend you start with this lady. And I wish Twin Medicine Hat? I can't remember. Something medicine hat. And she has if you look for Off With Their Heads as well.
Did you make this one? Is that the one you made with the minestrone?
No, that one's actually called the Minestrone hat. That's also the same designer, though.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Because I knit several of her hats. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't knit the off of their... No, I did. I think I gave the off of their heads away because I made poor color choices.
Oh. Well, why don't you show what you're supposed to be showing?
Yeah. You threw
I did not.
TMMB down.
I did not. He hopped. I didn't even touch him except to pick him up. You're...
Again, let me reposition.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm going to put it on top of the pillow.
Okay.
Then the pillow's not crushing my feet because my feet were falling asleep, actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
So this is based off of the colors on that hat, so I could have something that matches. Where did the hat go?
did you put it back in the bag?
It fell. I
Oh.
found it.
Okay.
So apparently I'm going to be wearing this for part of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll take it off in a second.
I think between the...
We are Michael Jackson. Here, how about you wear yours? Give me mine back.
That's the wrong hand.
They're the same.
It doesn't go with my outfit.
Okay, you can wear that one.
Here.
Give it back. Okay.
She's so spoiled.
I'm spoiled.
So
That one's yours.
Yes, but it doesn't go with my outfit.
Mom, you have a blue shirt.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. That's
It's
blue.
green.
Mom, that's a blue shirt.
This is green.
That is blue.
No, it's green.
It's a light blue with shades of green
no,
to it.
it's green.
That is not green.
This is blue.
That is blue. That's a light blue.
No.
Guys, I am totally right. That is light blue. I think
it's
you've
not.
got some color issues.
No. Who does the yarn coloring?
I'm not saying that you...
Who? No.
I do color work.
No. Yes, and we know how many times you say, I don't like these color choices.
Only because I didn't contrast them, not because they didn't go well.
This is green, sweetheart.
That's blue.
No.
Blue. Guys, enter below if that's blue or green. Vindicate me.
It might look bluer to you because of this green, but it's blue.
But blue?
No,
Thank you.
this is blue.
Yes, I won.
No, you didn't win.
So, ow. The on the forest floor.
Serves you right.
Meanie. The only reason I'm... Oh, no, this one isn't the one I had to knit in order to get you to get you your thing.
Are you talking
I was going to
about?
say the only reason why I'm knitting this as much is because it's for you, but it's not for you.
No.
It's I'm knitting this for myself. It doesn't even lead to something for you. The other one leads for something for you. I have two projects that I have on the go that are bigger projects that I need to finish. One of them is my Dobbin Wood, and Mom keeps wanting me to finish that because then I will start her Dobbin Wood. So that's where I got confused. Anyway, this is not the Dobbin Wood. We are like all over the place. This is, oh gosh, I am so raspy. This is the On the Forest Floor by Simone Carite. The only reason I memorized her name is because I've knit her things so much. I can't tell you how. And I've only knit this pattern of hers. I just have knit. How many of them have I knit? I have the black, red, and gray one. I have the original one. I have the 3 blues one. I have this one. And I have another one.
The one you made for me.
Oh, that's right. I have one I made for you. And then I have another one on the go. Yes. And then I have another one on the go with reds in it.
Sorry, that was kind of rude, but you'll see it later when she puts the title up.
I have like 6 of them in various various points of doneness. I know what I was trying to say.
Some of them are finished objects.
Yeah, 4 of them are finished, 2 of them are not.
And I was trying to say was that I was just showing her a potential title.
So this is all Miss Babs yarn. The yellow is
Squash Blossom.
Thank you. I just can't bring words to my...
Not butternut squash.
Yes.
Butter squash.
Today I told Davina that, okay, I gotta go now because I need to have my medicine with pills so I don't get nauseous. And I paused this thing like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense. Did she catch it? Well, she didn't say anything at first. And then I was like, actually, I think I meant to say I need to have meds with food so I don't get nauseous. She's like, yeah, that really didn't make much sense the first time around. I was wondering about that.
She said that? Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think she wasn't going to call me on it, though. So, Squash Blossom. I was almost going to call it butternut squash again. Inkwell, Dragon's Flight. And you can't get Squash Blossom.
Yeah, I tried to get it for her for, like I said a few podcasts back, as my haul from a fiber festival, if you will, and they didn't have any. So it's hard to, and I've tried looking in the past too, just to keep an eye on it because it's one I use a lot. Excuse me.
Oh my.
Apparently I want to aspirate my teeth.
It's all the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, all the cool people.
So yeah, I'm almost at the point where if I was doing the pattern exactly, I'd be close to done. But I've adjusted the pattern because I don't want it has little open loops on the bottom. And I'm that klutz who will get my open loops stuck on doorknobs.
Or anything else.
Or anything else. And I used to catch on things all the time when I was working. I'd be wearing it in the office when I was working outpatient psych, and I'd be pulled to a sudden halt because my shawl would be catch on the doorknob, or my shawl would go flying off my shoulders because it got stuck on something. So this is not going to have the holes in it because I can't handle them.
You can't handle the holes.
So it's okay, and also I'm adding length to it too because I want it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I like mine. I think I'm gonna have to block it and then see if it's.
Yeah, it'll be bigger if you block it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then once I finish, Mom, making the adjustments, I can show you what I did if you ever decide that you either A, want to do it yourself, or B, want Talia to do it for you, which probably is a more likely response.
I do have one on the needles.
You have the original one, but it was only enough yarn to finish that.
Yes.
Because that was
and
the kit.
And it's dragonfly, too. I can't get any more yarn.
Yeah. What I would honestly do, Mom, if you don't think you're going to finish it, I would rip it out and then save that yarn for something else.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was you. Because
I think I've got Kelpie in there.
You got Kelpie.
And
because all like blues and greens.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All my colors.
That's what I would do. If you don't think you're going to finish it, just snag the yarn. Where did my hook go?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go to mine now.
Where's my hook?
What hook?
Hook on my... It's in here somewhere.
Is it in? Did he eat it? Oh, here.
Oh, no,
No?
that's not it. I'll find it eventually. You keep doing
The couch ate it.
Yes, it did!
Do I know my couch or not? All right. In my Ploverbird Owls bag, this is
My backrest turtle is misbehaving.
my Autumn at Avonlea project from the Anne's Imagination Cowl. This is Green Gables inspired by Tanya Marie Anderson. I didn't do a whole lot on any of my projects. I honestly pretty much only crocheted and knit while I was on the podcast last week.
You did a lot of business stuff this week.
And at her PT the other day, that's when I got most of my projects done. Yeah, until I went to PT, I only had 2 projects.
Mm-hmm. And PT didn't last that long.
So I got a little bit further on this. I like this pattern. I still remember Tanya emailing me when I bought it. Sweet of her. She said, "You know this is knitted, right?" Because I wasn't knitting at that point.
Knitting much, I don't think. I think you were knitting a little bit.
I just started.
I was going to say you had learned to knit.
She had just started. She said, "You know that's knitting, right?"
Yeah, because for people who are new, Mom was primarily crocheter for a very long time.
Well, I thought it was sweet because you probably would have given me a refund if I said, "Oh, I didn't realize that."
Yeah.
She contacted me about it. So that was really nice of her. Isn't that a gorgeous pattern? Look at that. Look at the way it's showing up.
It actually shows up very nicely. Now, this is one of her sampler ones, right? It's going to change at some point.
Yeah, it is going to change. I just don't know what it's going to change to. But this, I was planning on giving it away, but I actually like the way it's working up.
So you might keep it.
I might keep it.
Well, it's kind of your colors too, Mom.
It's
very autumnal.
It is autumnal. My colors are basically blue and green, except when you hit some of the autumnals.
Right.
With the purples
and you
and
tend
stuff.
more toward the brownie end of the autumnals.
Well, I like, if you think about the leaves on the trees, I like the autumnals that have the purple reds and the purples and the orange and the maybe a little bit of the green.
You're not quite as fire as I am.
No, I like more of the subdued for the autumnals. My favorite autumnal color I used to wear a lot was kind of that very deep, almost like a maroon or
it's kind of a purpley maroony.
Yeah, it was really pretty. So that's I might keep that. I might not. This has got silk in it. You feel it?
Is that the one from...
This is Scano.
Scano, yeah. And Scano has nice yarn. My only beef with them is they don't put the weight of their yarn when they send it out.
They don't put their weight. They don't put their yardage. They don't put
any information. Like, here's pretty.
Here's pretty yarn. I'm like, oh, yay, pretty yarn, but what is it?
Although, to be quite fair, I think they contacted me and said, hey, we'll give you a discount. And that's how we got the yarn. So, I can't really complain. They contacted me and, like, I think it was back in the Plurk days.
Why did they?
They just randomly contacted me and said, hey, do you want a discount on your yarn? I'm like, okay.
We bought stuff, and I bought stuff from them, and we were also involved with Yarn Box for a while.
I wonder if they were newer at that point, Mom. They're trying to get their name out.
They've got patterns. They've got all kinds of things. I really like them. They're I get frustrated with not knowing what the yarn is because I'll buy
And that
yarn.
might have changed.
Yeah, and it might have. This was years ago.
And it might have been even when they first started, like I said.
I get frustrated if I don't know what I buy because I buy, especially back then, I was buying so much that I couldn't remember what weight of yarn I was
Right,
buying.
and that was what was happening to me.
But that takes care of that one. And they're good yarn. If you try Skano, if you don't
and
mind.
that was a very nice feeling yarn.
Yeah, it's really nice. They have wonderful yarn. Okay, you turn Taya.
Okay, so in my...
Why is the tea gone?
Presumably because you drank it.
No more.
You know, I think part of the thing is we don't say oops as much as we used to.
Yeah, we don't say. We haven't been dropping as much and things, so.
Um,
And we will see what we can do about that.
about dropping stuff? Are you going to drop stuff now?
Mm-hmm. Drop your head.
My head would probably thank you. My neck would probably thank you.
Do you have an adamantium little piece there?
It's not adamantium. Adamantium doesn't exist.
I know this. Oboe head.
So, this is my Oops a Bunny pattern. This is Purple Comfy Bunny, also known as Comfy Bunny, also known as Comfy. He has many nicknames. You're sticking your fingers in his ears. Would you like if someone stuck their fingers in your ears? So rude. He's gonna look at you now. He's looking at you. That's very... Can you imagine how disturbing that is for this poor bunny to see someone stick their fingers in their ears and their ears to dance?
No more disturbing than having a bunny without a body staring at you.
You deserved it.
Loose as he leaning.
So I think... Yeah, I think he's going to be about the same size as
Yeah, looks like it.
TMNB, because he's not stuffed yet.
No.
And I have most of the pieces done.
I intended to work on a toy this week, but I didn't.
The only toys I felt like working on for the most part have been Cyrano. And even then I haven't worked on them a lot. I've had other obsessions.
I just didn't want... And I'll tell you why I didn't do a lot of that later, but...
But his body, his... Basically, all I have to do is... rolling wave yarn. Sorry, my feet are falling out. My foot's falling asleep.
I'm keep leaning back.
No, it's not you. I think that my feet are just being sensitive.
This is kind of my comfort toy.
I know. I'm so glad that she was made for my office. Mom dyed the yarn special for me, and she used to live there. And once I took her back, I couldn't quite bear to give her away, so she's now Mom's. And look, Mom, she looked like she was cuddling against you like a baby. But
Burp.
Comfy Bunny only has... I'm almost done with the back... With the first back leg. Then I have the second back leg, the tail, and the muzzle. So I'm almost there. I actually need to figure out what I'm going to do for the white, because I didn't actually plan ahead for that. Hopefully I didn't lose my hook again there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, are you done with that one?
I am.
Okay. My next one is in my Cloverbird Mickey Mouse bag. And this one is my Spoiled Bunny Stomp Scarf from the Cerebel Scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. I didn't do a whole lot of this. I think I worked on
Did
this.
the last person who requested Cerebel get it?
Yeah, I sent everything out.
Okay.
If you requested the Cerebel pattern from me and you haven't received it, let me know, because I think I got everybody, but if I didn't...
And for people who are new, Cerebel used to be available for free on Ravelry. It's a pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. But she has no longer got her Cerebel pattern anywhere. So right now, Mom is like being
I'm her supplier.
the supplier of the Cerebel pattern. So this pattern gets love. Look at that. It makes the pooling so pretty.
This is Taya got me this yarn. It's Tess yarn.
I've never crocheted the pattern myself, but I love the way it looks.
Yeah, I really like this pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I'm all about encouraging Mom's obsession with this pattern.
I've done well into double digits. I think I've done close to 25, 30 patterns.
You've done cowls. You've done...
I make them into everything. I've done baby blankets.
I know you thought about making a table runner at one point with it.
Yeah, I had to pull it out because the yarn was too thick. I think what I need to do is get some fingering sock and a big hook. And then it's going to be a little fiddly to start.
I think it'd be a really pretty table runner.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it just lends itself to doing everything. And
you know, during a period of time where I thought I was going to get married, it could have made a very pretty
veil.
I don't know why we didn't think of that.
I don't know.
It's so obvious now.
Yeah, I was looking into all things, and all of them were giving me, like, heebie-jeebies because it was all like lace and thread, and I could do it in thread with like a D or an E hook,
Right.
and then it would be really lacy that way.
For the table runner.
Well, even for a veil, if I was to make a veil.
I'm obviously not getting married. For people who know me, I am basically religious. I'm so I can't get married.
Consecrated virgin.
Consecrated virgin, yeah.
Okay, so this is Tess yarns. It's not Miss Babs, but the yardage is very similar. It's got 590 yards, and this is worsted weight. So it's got a nice feel to it. I'm using an I hook, which is
I can't remember the last time I used anything above a G hook.
5.5 millimeter. I generally, when I crochet, I'm just starting to get back into crocheting things that aren't toys. And I generally will use a D or an E hook.
And I think that's what it is I don't crochet anything that's not a toy.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't enjoy crochet other than in toys.
Well, I blame Christmas and July fairies for getting me back into really doing some of this stuff.
Well, I think in your heart you are truly a crocheter first. Although dyeing is kind of slipping in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think crochet is your first love.
I can knit and I can loom knit.
Yeah.
But
But when you feel well, what you seem to gravitate toward is your crochet.
I like to be able to finish things in some kind of a timely manner.
And I think you also like not having to ask someone else to fix it for you.
Yeah. I can fix this myself.
Yeah. Honestly, you're probably a more advanced crocheter than I am because I don't, even though I design crochet, I don't go outside of the toy realm just because I'm not interested in it.
I still have to determine how to do the math in terms of if I want to make a shawl, because I think I can do that. I have ideas.
Yeah.
It's just I don't understand the mathematics involved, so I have to go back to Shannon's classes.
There's a lot of mathing with design.
I have to go back to I have Shannon's Craftsy classes.
I didn't know Shannon did classes.
Yeah.
Shannon Mullet Bowlesby, guys.
Wonderful designer.
Bowlesby?
Shannon Mullet
Bowlesby,
I think.
He's excellent.
He's fantastic. He and George.
Yeah.
George
Sweetest designer guys you ever want to meet.
George is 10 hours or less because we haven't touted him in a long time. He
always has sales. Always knit patterns, crochet patterns. If you want to make it in different size, here's how you adjust it.
Both of them are very supportive in areas where it's a very competitive field.
George edited my very first pattern for me. Mm-hmm. So he told me how to make it more clear. He didn't have to do that.
They're fantastic. If you're not aware of both Shannon Mullet Bowlesby and George, who's 10 hours or less, take a look. If you have questions about where to find them, let us know. We'll help you find them if we can, because they deserve to be supported. They are very talented. They are very supportive of other people in the same field without thought of how it might impact them, which is really nice.
Yeah, they're amazing. Super guys.
Yep. Your turn.
Okay, so I guess now it is whoopsie, it's a bunny.
I don't have anything to do oops, it's a bunny with. To do water.
You see, we do. Doo-doo. Well, hang on, let me put...
You said doo-doo.
I did say doo-doo. Are we 5?
I was just going to say, no.
Hang on.
3?
That's right, you're 3. Not sure what it is with you and 3. Let me just put my bunny... Actually, it's my bunny butt. This is the bunny's butt. Put it away.
That's for Stephanie?
Yes.
This is Stephanie,
No,
right?
it's Jodiah. Jodiah is
Jody.
the one who was posting bunny butts for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
She pushed the bunnies over the line.
Yep. Yay! Thank you, Jodiah. Hey, hang on, let me... Although Steph with all her bunny butt dishcloths helped a lot too. Yeah. All you bunnies, yay, thank you. Anyway, this is not a bunny. This is one of the bookworms in the bookworm army. Steph's bookworm is the general of the bookworm army because she's the one who started it.
I think she's got all the ranking officers right now.
Yeah.
Because she's got so many of them.
Now, I mean, granted, I think Cyrano is like the king of the, like, he's sending out all the troops, but...
Well, yeah, Cyrano.
And maybe your big one's the queen, I don't know, queen mother? I'm not sure what she is.
She's the mess sergeant. She's responsible for all the No, she's the guy. Remember in Great Escape, the guy who always went, he's called a scrounger, I think. He goes and he finds like the ink that's needed for forgeries and the pictures.
Yeah,
and
he was played by, what's his face?
Garner.
Garner, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few movies you actually like Gardner in.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he's stuck by his friend. They both died for it.
Yeah. So this is fun. This is my Cyrano. Probably the third.
It's kind of disturbing.
It's really fun.
It reminds me of that movie where the guy comes from outer space and there's that thing going like this, and he's like, "Take me to your leader," and the thing's like, it's like the air coming through the hole. It's made out of like some kind of material, blue material or something, and it's to welcome people to the store.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like those, I can't. They probably know what.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It's the one where the alien comes to Earth because there's some kind of technology, and I don't know. That's hard to explain. It's a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Davina would know.
So this is.
Davina would know.
I think I called him Milo. I just watched The Mask, which is probably why I had the name Milo stuck in my head, because his dog was named Milo.
Cutest dog ever.
Yes.
Looks like Astor.
Smartest little dog ever.
Like
too.
Astor.
I don't know who Astor is.
He's from the Thin Man series.
Oh, I forgot about that. But light blue glasses. Looks like he has red splotches all over his body. This is old yarn that Mom dyed. We're thinking it might have been old Kool-Aid dye. Mm-hmm. The yarn starts out feeling a little rough, but eventually you get used to it.
Yeah. It's good for a toy.
So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I actually had been about here at the beginning of the week, and then I realized somewhere I had missed a stitch. I must have been crocheting when I was tired or doing something else, so I had to tear all the way back to the increases again. And then I quickly crocheted that section again, and I started a new section.
Now, I was going to say I'm going to have to make my bookworm named Astor, but that's named Stephanie, so I'm going to have to make another one.
Sounds like.
Astor and Stephanie.
Well, I'm sure you have some yarn that you don't know what you're going to do with that can be a bookworm.
Yeah.
Add to the bookworm army.
Maybe I've got 2 skeins of fingering sock on my shelf up there that I don't know what to do with. One is Ruse Meadow.
Oh, you've been wanting to do something with Ruse Meadow.
I won that, and it was an indie dyer, and you have to understand, I loved Rue from Hunger Games. So I want to keep it at whatever it is I make with that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll hold it with the green that's up there and make a bookworm.
Oh, that might be cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that will be, well, that's not going to be Astor, though. It's going to be Rue.
Because you're going to want to call that Rue.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make a different one called Astor, Mom.
Okay, anyway, moving on. Are you finished?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I already did that one. Okay.
This might actually have to be called Bookworm Army.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. Unless it's bookworm all over the map. Bookworms all over the... we'll figure it out. Okay. I did that one, too. No, I did 3 of them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just did the Spoiled Bunny Stomp, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, wait a minute. Autumn and Avonlea.
Did you...
Oh, I guess I only did 2. I thought I went past 3. I'm going to have to take this off even though I want to keep it. I'm getting hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it'll be over here if you need it again.
All right. In my Universal Studios canvas bag, blue canvas bag, is my Ninja Turtle baby blanket from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern by Lisa Vanilla. And this is on Love Crafts. And I didn't do a whole lot. This is one of the things I did. Look, Christina. My hook's in here, so I didn't lose it. Christina made me that. This is, I think I did maybe a row and a half or 2 rows. Actually, I think I might have worked on this on 2 separate occasions.
And just for people who are curious, we exclusively use hooks with the rubber handles on it. This is armor. Not crochet armor. Blast. What's the name of it?
This one's Crochet Dude.
Okay, I don't use Crochet Dude because his are too hard.
Yeah, I have a couple different kinds.
This is one's armor.
Yeah, I like those too.
Kay likes these.
Yeah, I like those as well.
I can't remember the full name of it.
I prefer those for the smaller ones. This one I can use for the bigger ones.
I don't like his handles.
I do like his handles.
It has a little more give to it.
Well, I'm trying not to press so hard on it because I think that's what's giving me trouble with my thumb. So That's not too much
I'll
of an
probably
issue.
remember, like, in the middle while I'm
Right.
saying something, what the actual name is.
But this is, so here is, I did maybe a row and a half or 2 rows. Where's my big, yeah, here's where I stopped. So you can see I only did a couple inches here. And when I finish the green up here, I can go ahead and go to the orange, which is Mikey, because I've got, for those of you who are new, this is for the Ninja Turtles, which means that the green is for the turtles. This blue down here is Leonardo, and this red is Raphael. This is Donatello, the purple, and then the orange is Michelangelo, because the turtles are all named after Renaissance painters. So, and I will edge it with a yellow. That is for April's jumpsuit.
Well, I think Raphael might have been better known for his... It's either Raphael or Donatello who was better known for his sculpture. One of them was better known for sculpture than he was. Even though Michelangelo always
Michelangelo was
himself...
very well.
Well, Michelangelo's very... But one of them did primarily more of something than he did sculpture. Even though Michelangelo was very renowned for sculpture.
I don't think it was Raphael.
Maybe it's Donatello.
I don't know much about Donatello.
Donatello's a little bit earlier than the other guys, I believe.
Okay, go ahead. Your turn.
But I'm not completely up on my Renaissance painters.
Yeah, I have to go back and look.
Okay, so now we're getting to the designs, which means you get
You can see bags.
to see bags, yeah.
And bags.
Let me put my hook up before I lose it again. And let me put this.
A holder. I have to get some more of those, particularly the big ones. I like to use the big ones for holding, so I know that it's holding a stitch.
I have a whole, like, I got one of those bigger Notions pouches from Silvershred USA, and I just have it filled with locking stitch markers.
I need to get something like that, and so I can put.
And I have a different one for my knit
ones, yeah.
stitch markers.
Because right now I've got mine in all over the place. I think I have a bag somewhere with some, but it was because I was carrying it around.
So this is our first tortoise versus hare bag the Silvershed USA did for us. The loser tortoise is on one side, and the winner bunnies on the other.
I don't even deign to. when they need to make themselves feel better, it's best to just let them make themselves feel better.
But this is a Birdle.
It is a Birdle. That was done by Laura Smoot.
Oh, Mom, his shell's so soft.
I know. So cute. She did such a good job with that.
And she put PHN on the chest. Chest.
Mm-hmm. She's very talented that way.
And she created a Birdle for us. Mm-hmm. And in here is a cowl design that has nothing to do with tortoises or hares. Mm-mm. Well, I guess it does have hairs on it.
Okay. In my Knitting's My Bag, Faith, Hope, and Love bag. Apparently I have all different kinds of bags this time around.
All the heat is out of my thing.
Yeah, mine is too. This is the So
Keep
Soft
flipping it.
So Soft Face Cloth project from the So Soft Faith Cloth. And I'm using Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. And there's no reason for this to be going so slowly, except I haven't worked on it much.
Well, that is a very good reason for it to be going slowly.
You can see the border. It's just garter border. It's very simple. Yeah, maybe this side.
I just want to stretch my...
Yeah, this side. So, and I did a couple, 3 or 4 rows, I think, on this when I was waiting for Talia. This is really, I love this cotton, and it's really nice to work with, especially for something like this.
But I like much better the Knit Picks.
I like that for dishcloths, but this is like a face cloth, so this is very soft against your skin. Mm-hmm. I don't use this much, like I won't use this for toys.
For some reason, that bothered, like, I didn't enjoy the way that felt in my hands for some reason when I was knitting with it.
It's very soft. I can use this.
I'm very picky with my cotton. I just don't like how cotton feels a lot of times.
I am picky about cotton as well. I use Dishy. I've
Dishy.
come around to Dishy for dishcloths.
Well, I don't think you had ever tried Dishy.
Yeah, I had.
Oh, had you? Okay.
Yeah. But I used it for face cloths and things. I didn't like the way it felt on my hands. Mm-hmm. But, or maybe I confused it. I tried some of the other ones that you can get, like at the big
I thought you had tried like what's it called?
Sugar something. Yeah. There were a couple that you can buy at the stores that I really didn't like.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever tried Dishy.
I like this one for if I'm going to make a garment, or if I'm going to make. I've never done a cotton garment. I did a cotton shawl like Kay has, and then I made like face cloths because it's softer on the skin. But I won't use this for something like dishcloths necessarily, or toys. I tried to make a toy out of this, and it is too floppy.
Yeah.
So I do the other cotton for toys and for dishcloths. I think because this just doesn't have the roughness to it that you need to have. But it's really pretty. The color's kind of a very nice teal. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's where this is kind of more like this. Maybe a teal instead of a full.
I was gonna say it has some blue to it.
You said it was blue. Not that it had some blue to it. You said it was blue.
I admit it might have a little bit of green to it, is what I said. I said blue with some green to it.
No.
Yeah, I did.
No, not really.
I totally did.
I will go back and look. Go ahead.
I'm right.
Mm-hmm. You keep telling yourself. Doesn't make it so, but you keep telling yourself that.
Well, my saying that it is so doesn't make it so, but the fact that it is so makes it so.
Which is not.
Yes, it is. In my Silvershed USA Christmas ornaments bag that had been given to me by the awesome Brittany, aka B-Wing, is a Christmas ornament design.
This one looks like a Christmas mint. Makes me happy.
Yes, it does. So
I remember those.
I didn't work. Oh wait, I worked. I think mostly at the beginning of the week. I actually worked on a fair amount at the beginning of the week, and then I got distracted by other things.
I really like these old ornaments. They were very fragile. They weren't really the best kind of ornaments.
Don't the tops usually come? At least because ours, the tops. Maybe because we got cheaper ones too.
Well, they weren't very. Those kind are not usually very sturdy, and so you might, if you picked it up wrong, it would break. You'd pack them away in those little eggshell type boxes. They'd have the little egg kind of like you were for eggs.
Yeah. And
so you put them in there, and and you think, okay, they're all okay, and you get them out for Christmas the next year, and 3 or 4 of them would break. So they're just very
I don't know
fragile.
how many more we have left. They're dwindling.
Well, we got a lot when we were stationed in Germany. We were stationed in Europe 3 times in Europe. So we got a lot of the European little cute stuff for the tree, especially in Germany. We got the little, because in Germany, when we went to Germany, my husband
they have like Christmas Town or something, don't they?
Oh, they have Christkindlmarkts and all kinds.
Yeah.
We got stationed. This is how it worked. My husband got stationed remote, which means he had to go without us for a year. So I was with my family, with the 2 girls. Taya wasn't even a year. Davina was not 3 yet. So we were with my parents, and because I didn't want to stay in Texas by myself in Abilene. So I went, and we stayed there, and Mike said, hey, there's no reason for you not to be here. We won't get housing allowance and stuff, but I want to bring you over. So I had been working part-time, so I was able to have some money to buy the tickets and things like that, or at least to help. Mike obviously bought the tickets, but so we went to Belgium, but we didn't have a whole lot with us because we weren't an official move.
Right.
So we only had basically what we could carry in our suitcases and mail to my husband. Everything else was still in storage from him, from us being out of Texas. And so we missed Christmas there because we left the day after Christmas. We spent Christmas with my parents. And then from Germany, from Belgium, we got transferred to Germany, and we didn't have any of our Christmas ornaments for whatever reason. They didn't come in. So the first year, because I was doing daycare, we went and we made the paper chains and the paper, all that kind of stuff. And then
very World War II.
It was a beautiful tree. I mean, it was a homemade kind of tree. And then we started going to the German, like Christkindlmarkts and Mainz Castell and that kind of stuff. And we picked up the little German ornaments, which are so cute. I mean, some of them are wood, some are plastic, whatever, but they're beautiful. We have most of them still. And so our tree has made a transition from, being primarily American, like 50s and 60s and stuff like that, 70s kind of stuff, to being kind of eclectic with a lot of European overtones. Mm-hmm. So we love our tree. And Davina gets mortified because every year we wanted to she made a little, in preschool, 3-year-old preschool, she made a little angel, out of toilet paper with the pipe
She
cleaner.
has tried so hard to hide that thing. I think she would not weep if that thing got destroyed.
For a long time we put it at the top of the tree, and then we put it to the side of the tree. Now I think we have a little container that we put it in.
Yeah.
So
to keep it safe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think it's mostly partially that, but mostly to assuage Davina's.
No, it is to keep it safe.
Okay.
I was afraid it would get damaged or get thrown away. Mm-hmm. So it's in a
Again,
special
Davina
place.
would not weep.
Yeah, I would. So now going back, that was kind of a tangent. But anyway, I don't even know why I went there.
I don't quite. Oh, my ornaments bag.
Oh, right. Okay. In my, here we go, Silvershed PHN Chameleon bag, because apparently I'm very eclectic with my bags today. is my At the Bottom of the Hill scarf. And I was hoping to finish this when I was sitting in the waiting room, but I had to listen to my hands and go from project to project.
Listen to the hand.
Listen to the hand. Are you doing the monkeys?
Yep. I was going to have people guess, but you just ruined that.
Yep, that's what I do. Okay, so see, this is getting long.
It's Davina's fault. She really loved the monkeys.
She still loves them.
She still loves them, but for a while she was obsessed.
Now she's adding the Beatles to the mix.
Yeah.
So this is how much I have left. So I think I still have maybe a few rows, because this is a chunky yarn, so I'm not...
To be quite honest, I actually like more the monkey songs than I do the Beatles songs.
This is...
Heresy, I know.
This is about maybe 1/4 of an inch per stitch. So I might have maybe 3 or 4 rows before I have to bind off, maybe more. It's hard for me to judge how much. And yeah, it's got a nice texture to it, and I think it's going to be really warm. And it will be a cowl just because it won't matter as much as it's curling.
Right.
So,
and also it's not quite long enough to be a real scarf.
it's getting there.
Yeah, but how much yarn do you have left?
I showed you.
I wasn't looking. I mean, it could possibly be.
It would be a shorter one,
Yeah.
but it could be a...
I think it'd be better as a cowl.
Cowl. So that takes care of this. Hopefully, maybe this will be done next week. We'll see.
Whatever, the spirit moves you to work on.
I've got so many things. I'm like ADD, project ADD, and craft ADD.
Yeah, I know that. Ugh. So, in my Silver Shred USA, I just call this my knitting bag because there's a bunch of knitting sayings on there.
Knitting words.
Yeah. Oh, and it does also have, I forgot to point this out the one time I was going through everything on here. It's got a sheep on there.
Sheep
and
anatomy.
it has certain areas of him set aside for different things. The top of his head is a hat. The scarf is here. The sweater is here. The belt is here. Mittens, poncho. So they're dividing his body into...
His wool.
His wool.
Not his body.
Into
his wool.
different parts. But in here I have another design.
Okay. All right.
Whee!
In
I need to work
my-
more on that one.
In my Kiki Boo Owls Christmas Owls bag is my little rusty preemie hat. And I worked a little bit on this. Just not a whole lot, but a little. Right now I'm not doing a lot of loom knitting, but let's see.
Alrighty. Oops. There we go.
So I made some progress, and I'm probably closer than I think, because I always forget that these preemies only have to be 5.5 inches or so, not
Right.
7. So I probably am closer. I think I maybe have a couple inches or 1.5 inches or something to do on this. And this is just Bravo worsted.
Well, it's something you can work on cheaply, quickly, washable.
Yep.
Decrease 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Your
Just making
turn.
sure before I decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me do my decrease and hold my stitch, and I'll show my next bag. A lot of times I tend to work on my designs in progress during the week and work on my non-designs in progress on the weekend. Okay, so woof. In my I forgot to take my medical notebook out of here from when I went to my appointments.
You have to do it right now.
Well, it's making it hard to move
Oh,
back.
gotcha.
So, in my Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival bag is a blanket design in progress. Getting close to being able to change colors on it.
Yay. Okay, my last project is in my Cloverbird Teacups bag. And this is my Walk in the Woods stole from the Sarabelle pattern by Sarah Sweetheart. So here's another thing I make out of this pattern as a stole.
Well, this is the first time you've done a stole, isn't it?
Yes. This is... No.
Which is shocking.
No, I don't think so.
Well, when else did you do a stole?
I think I gave one to Mrs. Helm.
Did you?
I think.
I don't recall.
I don't remember. Lacey 1, if you're watching, you can tell me. The yarn is giant skein, approximately 840 yards worsted, in the colorway, I think, Bryce Wonders. I got this at the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival. It was such a good price, down from this huge amount of money, that I couldn't resist it. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. So, this one had a big Cyrano.
So that's this.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Actually, before... Let me mark off the stitch at
The good thing about this one is that it works up really fast.
which is nice. It's always nice to have those projects. Okay, so the one that I started working on this, I think it was the middle of the week that I started working on this one. Maybe it was on Tuesday. Anyway, this is a different blanket pattern, and I have been wanting to work on nothing else. So
It's a new one?
you know which one it is. Yeah, it's in design, Mom.
Okay.
Mom.
All right.
So, and this is in my Mama C. Christina tutor bag that she made for me.
Because she's so nice and awesome and
Yes, she is.
everything. Okay, so now, where are we at here?
That usually leads us on to your graphic
FOs?
novel.
FO? Oh, no FOs, right?
Oh, I used to write FOs. No FOs.
No FOs.
So
Okay.
graphic novel.
Oops.
Oh, come here.
Come here, Felicia.
Thankfully, she probably thought that she was just playing.
She was playing. Here we go. She wants to help.
Okay, I don't have any FOs. Ty doesn't have any FOs. I don't have any graphic novel.
Okay, so that leads me on beat and string. Mm-hmm. So, bar F.
This allows me to ensure I'll have at least one project for the next the next podcast.
So, this is actually about to head out the door once I receive the check. This is, someone had commissioned me to make a rosary for them. And I do again. I do create rosaries on commission. I think I had started it last week, but I hadn't finished it. So she chose royal blue to go with her Scourge Jesus. I guess Shroud of Turin centerpiece and Crown of Thorns and Nail Crucifix. So I just have to send that off once I receive the check. And then I completed several more. I went crazy because I didn't have to do anything for as an order at that point. But one of the things I did have to do as an order, I sent out already. I got my first international order from rosaries. I sent something off to Sweden. So I don't have that here. It's on its way to Sweden. I wanted to send it out as quickly as possible because I wasn't sure if they wanted it for Christmas. But this is the St. Francis rosary.
You're pretty.
I chose a rich brown to go with the rich, with the saddle brown cord because I wanted it to match and look like his robes.
Yeah.
And then I've got the St. Francis centerpiece and the San Damiano crucifix, which is the one that, if you're familiar with the St. Francis story, that's the crucifix he was looking at when he heard Jesus telling him that he wanted him to rebuild his church.
And that was the first church he rebuilt.
Yeah, the crucifix is on the smaller end in comparison to the centerpiece, but it was hard to find a San Damiano crucifix and a St. Francis centerpiece.
And that's a very light rosary.
It's a very light rosary because it's what now at some point I want to do some of the wood rosaries with a bigger wood bead, like instead of an 8mm, maybe a 10mm bead. I've started to look more and more at the 10mm ones just to have other options, which means I might have to start another box for my 10mm ones because they take up room.
Right.
Okay, so that's... Okay, let me take the hook so it doesn't get lost and put it over here. Okay, so there's that one. Oh, I just have an extra bag in here for some random reason. Okay. Oh, and then this one, I think I was also in the process of working on last week, and then I put it on pause because of the orders. I just call this the Priest's Rosary. Again, it has the same crucifix, just a darker form of it as Marlene's special order. So it's the crown.
Yeah, nobody knows who that is.
Oh, sorry. As the special order that I just showed you, the
Right. No, I'm saying that it's okay that you said her name because nobody knows who that is.
It's got a nail and crown of thorns crucifix, and then it's got a nice chalice and host centerpiece, and it's black. And I think we had this discussion last time, and people actually were kind enough to let us know that actually most other Christian religions don't necessarily have the formalized clothing anymore. Because most of my experience with that was through what you would see on TV in the old times, where they would, you know, in the black and white movies, it was sometimes hard to tell a priest from a non-Catholic parson. If you look at something like...
You have to look at the collar. The collar was different.
Right, the collar was different. But, I mean, but if you look at something like Quiet Man, that collar was the only difference. Because I thought that the gentleman that... the pastor that John Wayne went and talked to wore the black as well, didn't he?
I don't remember. I do remember he wore the collar.
I thought he wore black as well.
He might have.
I can't remember now. Oh, darn. We might have to rewatch Quiet Man.
Oh, gee, what a hardship.
What a hardship. This one, Davina liked the way this one turned out. This was something I had in my mind as soon as I got gold beads. Although originally I envisioned it with the rose gold. So I've got a gold... Whoopsie! Thank you. I've got a gold centerpiece, which is just a traditional miraculous metal centerpiece. I've got a normal gold crucifix. Got the hematite beads, gold Our Father beads, and then a red cord, a bright red cord. And I just love how striking it is. It just...
Oops, it's a bunny.
It's a bunny. I actually have something to drink.
I have water.
Oops,
It's a bunny.
Ugh. Okay. So yeah, this one was fun because it was a little bit. It was a slightly different color scheme than I've had. And then the other one I completed. Yeah, this has been a very rosary heavy week now that I think about it. I think partially because on days I can't focus on anything else, as long as I can see somewhat, I can make a rosary.
Right.
This one I've been waiting to make. I was waiting for my Teresa of Avila centerpieces to come in. For those who don't know, St. Teresa of Avila, besides being considered doctor of the church by the Catholic Church, she is the patron saint of those with migraines.
Among other things.
Among other things. I know there's other things that... one is for... I think she said parents who die early or something like that. But... So I got the St. Teresa of Avila centerpiece. And then I've got... the crown of thorns and the nail crucifix with the idea again, you know, of suffering, because she suffered a lot during her life. She had a lot of chronic illness. She was paralyzed for 2 years, which I didn't realize. But it's a black, it's a 10 millimeter hematite bead, so it's nice and heavy, and a dark brown cord. And my thought process was, this one's mine. But my thought process was that the weight is comforting. The darkness of the beads and the cord represents the darkness that we generally have to sit in when we have migraines. And then, of course, St. Teresa of Avila being the patron saint of migraines. And then the crown of thorns and the nails crucifix all were just fitting, I felt. And so this one's mine. I've used it already. It's very comforting to have the heavier beads. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I like heavy rosaries, so, and this listing for one of these will be going up in the shop. It'll be a made to order. So that's all for beads and string for me, even though it's been quite a lot. I don't have anything new started up. I'm going to be starting up another one of those because someone has already told me they want one, so.
Okay.
So hardship of hardship, I have to, make another migraine rosary.
Okay, I'm going to make her pill if I keep catching this Velcro on her.
Yeah, here, Felicia, you can sit here. I know you want to play with the Velcro, but it's not good for you, baby.
Nope. Let me just get this where I can stop working on it. And then we can go on. What's next?
Next tends to be shop news.
Okay, then I definitely have to...
Well, I'll go ahead and I'll talk a little bit about the not really...
Oh, we have royalties first.
Royalties is usually afterwards.
Not on my list. But it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Just go ahead and do yours.
Okay. So my shop news isn't a whole lot of anything. It's basically... Oh, I do have a pattern that is open for testing right now. I have one tester. I need 2 more. It's the Advent wreath ornament. I just call it the Advent ornament. So that one's in... is waiting for 2 more testers before I send out the pattern. It will be released December 11th. So it's just a little Christmas ornament, colorwork Christmas ornament. And then I also have, its testing has been full for a while, the migraine baby blanket. A couple people finished already, and the people have until November 30th to get at least halfway through the blanket. And then on November 30th, the pattern will be released on Etsy and on Lovecrafts. So
Put this aside here. Okay. Now my shop news is part of the reason why I was so light on crocheting and knitting, besides hand pain and just general not feeling like being too creative, was the working on the advent kits. Okay, I had a special order that I realized somebody had asked that they wanted the fingering sock version of the advent kit after watching a podcast or live stream or something. I forget what it was. And I did have one, so I was working on that, and I spent most of different parts of the week trying to get that yarn put together. So that kept me busy. I have 2/3 of it's already, no, 3/5 of it are already kind of, ready to be reskeined. I've got 2 that are sitting ready to be rinsed and hung to dry. So hopefully I'll be able to get it out maybe a couple days later than my original date. Mm-hmm. I also had to mail out the ones that I could mail out. I mailed out one overseas, and I mailed out a couple that were in the States. And then I'm waiting with one because the person needs to be available to pick it up. So it's sitting here, it's packed up, but I can't send it out yet. Mm-hmm. And the other one that I'm putting together might go out before that one, right, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. But both of those are in the States, so they should get to the people in question well before Advent starts.
Great.
Because they're both in the States. So that's good. I'm really happy about that.
Also, as a heads up, and I almost forgot, and I'm not sure if you're planning on doing this as well, Etsy is making it reminding people if they want to, they can do a sale from, what was it? It was late November
to the beginning of December. It's like a week or
it's
something.
11 days.
11 days.
It's a 20% sale or however many much. I'm doing the 20%, which is what they recommend.
I am as well.
So we'll let you know again a little bit closer to the date. I think it's supposed to start on Black Friday.
And you don't have to do a coupon code. It's just there already.
So if you've been eyeing a rosary and you can't quite afford it, or been eyeing a skein of Mom's yarn, I figured most people aren't waiting for my patterns that way because my patterns aren't terribly. Oh, if you're that one of the many people who I have like 4 people who have my Christmas stocking. They're
or your colorwork cowl.
Or my colorwork cowl and hat. There've been a couple times that those things have been in people's carts, and I think they're waiting because the price is on the higher end. So if you're one of those people,
and I'm hoping
that might be the time.
I'm hoping to put more stuff in the shop because now that
I've got Christmas ornaments in there now.
Right. Now that my Advent kit my Advent kit yarn dyeing is done. I just have to fix up that last kit so I can send it off. I can start doing more fall and autumn and Christmas and winter kind of colors, and there may be some colorwork, not kits for lack of a better term, but when you have colors that kind of go together. Mm-hmm. The thing is, right now I don't have a lot of the fingering weight for that. I only have DK, and I'm not sure if my supplier has that yet. So
it's
I have
always
to
hard
check.
when you're waiting on a supplier.
Yeah, I have to check and see what's going on. And I may have some full skeins that are like that, a couple 3 colors together for those shawls and things. If you have, here's a question. If I were to do like a 3 skein set, would you want one to be variable, like a variegated, or would you want them all to be solid tonal, whatever?
Solid.
So if for full skeins, would you prefer to have them all like solid tonal, or would you like to have maybe 1 or 2 that are variegated and a tonal, just in case I decide to do something like that? And because that would be the time to do it, because you'd get 20% off.
Right. That's a good point.
Just let me know. You can do it in the YouTube comments. You can do it
privately
on my Etsy shop. You can do it on PHN. Just let me know what you think, so I can have an idea if I do want to go that way, what weights you like and what you would prefer in terms of, color combinations in terms of do you want variegated and solids or just solids, and what colors you might like. Okay? Because I'm trying to, put more stuff in the shop for you guys. So that takes care of the shop, I think. You have anything else?
Excuse me. No, I think that leads us on to
Royalties?
royalties, yeah.
Okay, I don't have any royalties except for Taya gave me her shawl that she made. I love this. It's probably one of my most comfortable shawls.
It's a sock knitted shawl. I never wear it because I don't like the shape. It's just not a comfortable shape
It's
for me.
really nice weight
I think
for me.
maybe because my shoulders are wider, it just doesn't feel like it stays on or covers me enough.
This is really nice, and it's one of those young. It's a beautiful shawl, but I probably won't wear it out much. This probably is my comfort shawl for at home because
It does stretch.
it does, and I just love it.
This is Miss Babs. It was a this is like pewter or something.
Yeah, I think it's pewter.
And then this is inkwell.
Yep. And these are, again in my color range. I just love the way it feels. It feels like a hug, a gentle hug, to quote Emma. So it's just really nice. And Taya wasn't using it, so she gave it to me. And I took mine out. I haven't blocked mine yet, so maybe it'll be like this when I block it, because I use Miss Babs for that as well.
And we both added rows onto it to be longer.
Yeah. So I really, really like this.
Because I actually had knit 2 of these. One I gave to Laura because I turned out to be sensitive to the yarn. It was too itchy for me.
That was Worcestershire Spinners, wasn't it?
Yes. I enjoyed knitting with it, and I really loved seeing how the colors popped up. But I can be a little bit sensitive to wool. Actually, until I get my bangs back, when I'm wearing my colorwork hats, I tend to push them up because my forehead starts itching.
Right.
I'm just a little bit more sensitive to wool directly on the skin.
Right.
So.
And I'm not quite that sensitive, although West Yorkshire Spinners, especially that particular line, tends to... I don't like non-superwash wool. It tends to bother me.
Although, like we said before, they are excellent.
Oh, they're excellent. That has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It has to do with me and my skin sensitivity, like someone who's having issues with alpaca or something. Yeah. I always think of Daniela, who
she was actually allergic.
Oh yeah, they landed her in the hospital. I mean, she won this whole big thing of alpaca.
She was so happy too.
Yeah, somebody traded with her, but it was such a low.
It was like a sweater's worth.
Yeah, it was this beautiful yarn. I felt so bad for her, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on.
Yes. So then we also for stash enhancement. Hold on, let me get my stitch marker.
Oh right.
I have. Mom, first of all, had purchased from a brand new shop. This is, I've mentioned before, my friend who's a fellow watcher of the podcast, who also has POTS, who
with a number of other chronic illnesses.
Yeah, basically we've been support for each other throughout the period of time of getting testing. Mm-hmm. She's helped me find doctors. We've actually shared a couple of doctors. Mm-hmm.
You guys keep...
But we've never met.
You guys keep going like this.
Yeah, we keep missing each other. Mm-hmm. She was going to visit me in the hospital when I had surgery, but...
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. She had some family things that she needed to be involved with instead. But she's just opened an Etsy shop.
It's called Flare Aid.
And she sews these wonderful... I call them heating pads, although they can be cold. Mm-hmm. So Mom picked up 2 for me. I just like the weight of them, too.
She says to me, she's such a sweetheart. And if you're watching this, Jess, I tried to give you a review and it wouldn't let me in. I don't know why. I couldn't give you a star review. I couldn't give you comments. I couldn't give you anything. She was such a sweetheart. She said, I put something in it for you, and she gave me this. And this is really nice. This is what I had on my shoulder.
Yeah, so this is what I heat up. It's when you heat it up, it smells a bit like rice, which is awesome. And then when it gets a little cool on one side, I'll flip it. And I know when I had it, I think I must have heated it for slightly longer before. Because what I would do is when you heat it, I heated it up this time for 30 seconds on each side. I probably could have stood for a little bit longer.
45 seconds.
Yeah. But I was in a rush. But it's nice, and it does... Like, if you use one end, you can flip it over and you get the heat on the other end.
And the weight is really nice. If you don't want the heat, sometimes I don't want the heat. I just want the weight. Mm-hmm. So this is...
For my neck, that doesn't work, but if I was having shoulder pain, I could see where the heat would be just the weight would be very nice.
This is mine, but Taya keeps it.
Yeah, I hold on to it for her.
Because she might use it a little bit more, but I really like it for my neck and shoulder. I don't know if Jess saw that I was having issues. I have tightness and pain sometimes in this shoulder, so, and that's why when I'm talking tight like this, sometimes you'll see me kind of doing this. I don't know if she saw that or if she just kind of intuitively knew that I could use one. I really appreciated this. It was a nice little gift.
And they're nice fabrics.
I love this one.
I really love this one.
See, one of these was supposed to be a Christmas gift because I told her about the other one. And I was like,
So, I have them both now. And I hold on to this one for Mom. Also, Jess sent me... Whoopsie. It's funny. Where'd my hook go? My hook fell.
right here.
Found it, thank you. And I need to take my drink for my oops.
Oh, that's right. Oops. It's a bunny.
Okay, so... Jess gave me a partial kit of interchangeable needles that she wasn't using for child because she just doesn't care for the length of them. Her hands aren't quite as long as mine are. And also, she finds that she actually grips the cord more than she does the needles because it hurts her hands. So, I got US 2s through US 8s, which is, I'm always running out of 7 through 8. So it's nice to have a couple of extra 7s and 8s. These are actually the sizes I run out of. I don't, because larger sizes... No. These are
interchangeables.
Interchangeables. The Chow Goose. So, because she doesn't care for this needle. The needle is too long for her. So, thank you, Jess. And then finally, I remember you walking in and giving them to me last night, but I didn't have a chance to look at it till now.
I haven't seen them yet.
So, for one thing, I'm almost out of business cards, or I was almost out of business cards because when someone had a big order, she asked for extra business cards, not only for each one of the things that was a gift, but she also wanted to maybe hand them out to people when she saw them. So, she took a bulk of my business cards, which is great. It was very helpful.
I forgot to put my business cards in my orders.
Oops. It's a bunny.
Well, yes. Everybody who has the orders, though, knows us, so.
So, the problem was that with my old business cards is that the type was a bit light, where it told people how to get a hold of my shop. And my dad wasn't very happy with that, so this time around he made the text darker.
Well, I can see the text is darker. I can't read it because it's up there, but.
Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
It'll be a lot easier to read. And he ordered a lot more for me.
200?
I think these are 500, he said. Because
250 a piece?
I think so, yeah. Because I went through them so quickly last time. And this is a lot nicer. Still has all the same information, but you can read it better. So he's like, that's what I get for going with style over, practicality last time.
What was it, like a cursive?
It was just I think it was just a prettier text that was a little bit lighter, that's all.
Because my text is fine.
Yeah. But you also didn't have on there Instagram, because at that time you didn't have Instagram.
Your dad has to add my Instagram account.
Right. You weren't sure necessarily at first if you wanted him to do it because you really like your cards. I remember last time I talked to you, you said you weren't sure. So, you probably have still a good bulk of them, right?
Well, yeah, because
you also, when you have your big order from the shop, they
have to be, I usually get two kinds. I get the kind that has my shop stuff on it in terms of where to find me, and then just the name of the shop is on another set. And that's the set I give to my local yarn shop.
Right, because you don't want...
So I don't take business away from her.
Yeah.
Okay, because they can find me if they want to, but it's not like, here,
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What's next?
Then what's next is... It's personal stuff, because...
Well, the writing and the reading
yeah.
Okay, I actually did a fair amount of writing yesterday, because Mike had taken, and we'll get into this later, but Mike took Taya to her doctor's appointment, and so Davina and I were here by ourselves, and one of the things I was able to get done, because I actually had quiet, I could actually write. So I wrote about, I don't know, maybe about 600 words plus some notes. So that was nice, the shared story. And I've even started reading Timothy Zahn again. as well as the shared story, and the Pray Like Mary and St. Paul for Every Day of the Year, and Mother Teresa. So I've got all those books. Basically, my religious books are, religion oriented, and then Timothy's On I pick back up so I can finish it. Timothy's On has another book out.
Oh, does he? I probably have it because usually I have his on last. I usually have him on pre-order.
Okay, well this is brand new.
Is it his Thrawn?
It's the second one in the Thrawn series.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. So, anyway, so I
usually I'm pretty up to date on his books. I get notified about
so
them.
do I.
I mean, when they're coming in pre-order.
I don't know if I got. I probably did, but I just ignored it. So because I hadn't finished this one yet. So, but anyways, that's basically.
That don't make no difference.
That don't make no difference. Okay, so that's basically That's basically what I have done for reading and writing and things like that. We're going to personal a little bit, so I'll let you figure out what you've been doing here, reading and writing and.
Oh, nothing really for writing. When I had a burst of energy, I was actually working a lot on the rosaries and designing this week. Designing in the morning, rosaries during afternoon tea time. And then I was I didn't quite feel like I had the even though I had the focus of design. It's like funny. I wasn't having a lot of focus to like listen to a lot of my Greek courses, lectures, and stuff.
Right.
I did start listening to one on the probably a telemarketer on the method of storytelling, and then I decided that it required too much thinking. So I went to her one, the same teacher for the Great Courses Plus, but she actually is telling old. They call it like a children's guide to like, it's like myths and those are things like you know myths or fairy tales and things like that. They're talking about like, oh, well, here's the different cultures' version of Beauty and the Beast, different cultures' version of Cinderella, different cultures, and what each one might mean to a kid when they're growing up during different stages of life. And actually, I find that the Beauty and the Beast version that I like the most is not the traditional French version, because French and German versions are closer to what we know from Disney. I think they took a melding of both of those versions. I like best, it's actually a, not Slavic, it's a Norse version that is called, it's West of the Moon, East of the Sun. And not only do you have your typical it's like a mixture of Cupid and Psyche along with Beauty and the Beast, but when the girl realizes that her mistake of looking at him when he would sleep on her floor at night, when she realized that, and that it then drove him to have to marry, it cursed, and then the curse, because she looked at him, now he had married this ogress. It's whatever the curse said. It was part of the curse. She had to fall in love with him again, like the Beast, in spite of the way he looked. But because she had seen him, then it made it so he had to marry this Princess Ogress. But anyway,
doesn't sound anything like the story.
No, it's a different version of the same thing. But what I like about it is okay, she realized her mistake, and then she did everything in her power, even though it was this faraway land she had never heard of. She did everything in her power to get to him, and then she used her smarts to trick the ogress, so then she could get to him, and then the two of them could work together to free him of the curse. It was really cool. It actually gave her a little bit more power than some of the other stories, and I really liked that.
I think Belle had a fair amount of power.
Well, she did, but what I think I like about it is it went. You had the courage, but also had the courage plus a little bit of something different. She still needed help from people, but it was a little bit of cleverness that they don't always insert into the other stories. Right. Oh, okay. That didn't work. Let me try something else. It was an interesting take on the story. But yeah, so they'll give you the story, then they'll explain it. So that has been nice. And I'm also listening to more Bakery Bears because it's nice to just relax and not have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, Bakery Bears, somebody asked about the podcast that we considered safe for us.
Yeah.
For us, in terms of, doesn't cause any issues for us.
Yeah.
And Bakery Bears is on the top of the list. Bakery Bears and Cozy Up Knits and, Chronically Crocheting and a few others that I wrote about a few down in the Dropbox that people asked about.
Not in the Dropbox, in the comments.
Whatever it is.
There is a difference.
Whatever. Whatevs.
Wow, are you trying to relate?
Trying to relate to like 50 million years too late. Anyway, so they are our comfort podcasts, and they're Laura Concert when she's podcasting and a few others. They are very low key and very sweet, and it's just very nice for us to listen to. Bakery Bears has been in that position for a number of years.
Yeah. And they have in their Patreon coming up soon the Advent calendar, which I look forward to
I love that
every single year.
And I was kind of upset last year because the way things were, I missed some of them.
Right, because last year I had neurosurgery in the middle of that.
This year, if we're still on quasi lockdown, it should be a little easier to do.
Well, also I'm not planning to have neurosurgery this year, so
Yeah. Well, you weren't planning on it last year either. You just kind of had to do it.
Yeah, but by this time, I knew I was going to be having neurosurgery.
Yeah, but you weren't planning on it.
Yeah, because I was already waiting for the call this time because it was a day after Thanksgiving that they finally said, "Okay, here's your
date," because you already knew you were doing it.
Well, yeah,
because that's why we.
That was when they gave me the date, and then I was able to start calling people. So we're hitting close to the year mark of starting the process of getting me ready for neurosurgery.
Okay,
which
so
is crazy.
Now what? Let's see.
Now that leads on to personal.
Okay, yeah. Let's. All right. If you don't.
Hold on. I almost forgot. Tigger Girl, if you're still watching, totally your fault. I'm now reading St. Teresa of Avila's autobiography.
Yeah, and
because you mentioned that you were reading Interior Castles, I think, and you said this is your guys' fault. You got me reading this. I don't remember mentioning Teresa of Avila on the podcast before.
We did, I'm sure.
But she blamed us, and then I was like, this is like the 6th time she's come up in one day from a different source. So I started reading her autobiography.
And
so Tigger Girl, I blame you.
I was listening to her autobiography, but I don't have a way of syncing it, so I think I'm going to put that autobiography that's on Kindle aside and do her. I have a 6-volume set, and I think I'm going to start with what Ty is reading.
That's the first book.
Yeah, the autobiography.
So it's good. I think you'll find several things to speak to you. But yeah, so I just wanted to give Tigger Girl a little shout out about that because that is absolutely and totally
her fault.
But and also I started reading. I've been reading. Before I started reading Teresa of Avila, I was reading a biography on Ignatius Loyola, and I'm still reading him. But the other one I'm reading is a history book. Hold on. It's an Alison Weir. Queens of the Conquest, England's Medieval Queens. So it's covering like the Norman queens.
All right, so now, if you don't want to hear personal stuff, we can say goodbye to you. But before you leave, want to thank the people who commented. Want to thank Brittany, Wendy, MacGyver, Come Craft with Sissy, Wombat of Doom 53, Emma, Gail, Paula, Allison, Stephanie, and Courtney Cooks and More. And this is the one I said I think she's new. Courtney
I've
Cooks
never
and
seen
More.
her before.
You might want to check her out. It looks like she does do crafting, but it looks like she's a lot of cooking things, like recipes
Which is
and
fun.
stuff. So that's awfully fun.
I find that relaxing, honestly.
Yeah, I like that. So
it's part of why I like Kay's cooking part of the show, because if I can't focus on anything else, I just want to hear Kay's voice sometimes. Yeah, she's very relaxing.
She's very relaxing. But
that's where cooking shows are very nice.
Courtney Cooks and More I have not yet watched, so I can't vouch for exactly what's in there, but it looks like a lot of fun. She seems very sweet. She's got a very sweet comment, and I'm looking forward to trying that out. So if you're looking for a new one to watch, you might want to consider that. And welcome, Courtney. We're glad to have you with us.
I'm very glad to have you with us.
So now, those of you who don't want to hear personal stuff, you wanted the knitting and crocheting. Well, we're done with all that now. Knitting, crocheting, books, all that. We're done with that. We're going to do personal stuff. So if you want to say goodbye now, we'll say goodbye. I do want to put a bug in your ear that if, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, we will not be podcasting on a Saturday, most likely. We'll probably be podcasting on Monday. So it'll be next Saturday and probably the following Monday. And we'll tell you about that in our personal stuff. If you don't want to stay for the personal stuff, we'll say goodbye. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. Have a wonderful and blessed week.
Yes.
Okay. Give you a couple seconds here.
Sorry about that chewing. I was using ginger.
Okay. Now, I think they probably are gone now.
Okay, so
personal stuff. It's been kind of busy, but not particularly good for crafting. As I said, I've done a lot of yarn dyeing. Davina was thrilled because Mike took Talia to
what did I do there?
to her doctor's appointment, to her, what do you call it? Not your primary, but
well, they basically are my primary now.
The one who deals with her pot stuff.
Yeah, that's that's what I did.
And it's an hour and some away. So Mike left.
They're both cardiologists. It's a husband-wife team.
Right, and they deal with pots, and so they. It's about like an hour and a little bit away. So my husband took off with Ty around 1 o'clock or 1:30, and that left Davina and I here. So Davina was really excited because I was dyeing the last of the yarn for this kit, and she got to help me to remember, what colors went in what order, and, say how things looked and help me move things back and forth. She got to be the dye louse. And
that's again, for people who are new, we're not just calling her a louse. It's a reference to
Rawhide.
Rawhide. She loved the cook's louse's character, Mushy,
whatever his name is.
Mushy? I could say call him Mushy.
Yeah.
So she loved that character. So anytime we ask her to do something, she says, "I'm this louse."
Yeah.
So
she likes being called that. So she helped me with all that, and then we after that was done, we took a little walk. Not the huge long walk because I had a lot of things I needed to be doing, but we took the walk around the circle, the one that is our short, my husband and my short walk, just kind of around. It's about a mile, 3/4 of a mile. It's not too far. So we did that, and we did our our rosary and stuff. We did rosary with my husband, but we did various things. So she was kind of excited to be doing that. And
she told Dad on the phone that you guys had quality time.
Yeah. And we got to when she went and did her things, I got on the treadmill and walked for a little while, and I did some writing, which was really nice because it's very difficult to write when the TV is going or people are constantly popping in and out. So I was able to do that.
Writing is a very jealous mistress.
It is. You have to kind of pay attention, and we ate about 5 o'clock. So my husband didn't come home until we had finished eating, and I was talking to my parents. But Davina had whatever it was. I forget what she had. But we were able to sit down and eat together. We looked through. One of the things we like to do a lot, we don't do it as much anymore because Ty is home all the time.
Right.
We used to sit down and look at the different catalogs that would come in the mail. So we had a chance to sit down and look at the religious catalog that came in.
Right.
It's full of icons, like Russian icons and
I like the
Disney.
Russian icons.
I do too.
They're really cool.
They're really
looking.
pretty. So I don't necessarily care as much for the portraits and things. I like the realistic kind of medieval art, but I do like the icons too. There's something about them. They're very bright.
Yeah.
And they're very reverent.
I tend to prefer the Russian ones to some of the other, to like the Greek style, because I think they're a little more realistic, the Russian ones.
Well, I think if you look at some of the Russian ones, there are different types. There's more of a modern one, and there's more traditional.
I think I probably prefer the more modern.
Yeah, I do too. It's a little less
stylistic,
yeah. But they're very beautiful, all
Stylized.
of them. So we got to do that, and Davina was really happy about that.
Yeah, she told me that you guys were looking at that magazine because it actually has my name on it, which is not a problem.
Well, you told us we could look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have a very hard and fast rule here. If mail has a certain person's name on it, even if it's junk mail, we don't look at it unless we get permission. So it's just a privacy thing.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it was. I didn't feel like doing a lot of crafting and stuff like that. I have, as I mentioned before, and thank you to the people who have commented, who have contacted me off of social media, either privately or through my Etsy shop. I have been trying to avoid social media. It's at this point in time, I basically do the stuff for my religion stuff, my HFI and that kind of stuff, my writing or knitting, and basically I kind of stay away from it for the rest.
I think honestly that is for the best anyway, because sometimes you run the risk with social media if you don't use it right. It distracts from actually living your life. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it's great to socialize. Mm-hmm. And especially someone with chronic illness, sometimes that's all that you're able to do is scroll through social media. But if you're feeling up to it, you know, yeah, social media is good, but it has its place. Go live your life too.
Yeah, well, and the thing for me is I'm not a depressed person. I'm not a person who is any kind of clinical anything. But too much negativity will affect me. And it bothers me to think that I have to really watch what I'm saying or doing because I might be judged for it. Or find out that someone is judging me because they've said something about it. I'm there for social media is for socializing, not for being judged. And so, yes, it's to get information across. I choose not to be really inundated with news and some of the negativity that's going on. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it must be respected on all sides, not just one way. And so even if it's not directed at me, I get upset when I don't see that happening.
I don't like unfairness.
I'm really not good with unfairness.
But regardless, I think it's, you know, give it its place. And if it's not being a positive thing in your life, chop it down to size a little bit.
Yeah, and so so that's what I'm doing, and I noticed that the Bakery Bears are doing the same thing. A lot of people, I've been contacted by people who have said that they're doing that. You know, can I recommend, you know, things that are, you know, would not upset them, you know, in whatever way, what I think. And obviously what I suggest, or what Talia suggests, or what anybody suggests is based on what doesn't upset us.
Right. You might have your mileage might be different.
It might be your threshold for things might be different. Your way of looking at things might be different. But I do think that that's a good idea to kind of pull back. Yes, it's important. Like when we're, you know, I know some of my friends overseas are back on lockdown. And so that's their way of being able to connect. I see that. And even for us, we are still on quasi-lockdown because of our situation. So yes, I do have people I contact and I connect with online, but they are select people that I know, you know, we can be supportive of each other. We can, you know, connect and just talk or whatever, as opposed to just kind of blah to everybody. So if you do something on Instagram or Facebook and I don't get back to you, you might want to nudge me and say, hey, I contacted you, because
nudge me, because actually, even though I'm not on it a lot, if you send me a private message, I will get to it. I usually get back to it with private messages pretty quickly, particularly if they're on Instagram or Facebook, because I check them for business reasons.
And I check for business, but if you're contacting me on Instagram, my personal Instagram, I might not see it.
You see, when I check my business one, a lot of times I check my personal as well, because I've had business requests on both before.
Yeah, see, I haven't been putting my business stuff on my personal.
Yeah, if it's a new thing, I tend to repost, because I know I have people who don't follow my business account.
I might go back to that as well, but I just am trying to pare back, and it's not because of anything anybody, you know,
it's just for your own,
it's my own
personal
as they say over at Bakery Bears, it's for my own mental health. Yep. I just need to be
I just finished showing Mom or letting Mom listen to a little clip of the Bakery Bears radio show for that was on, I think it was Friday last week or Tuesday this week.
Because I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah, and I was listening to that, and they were talking about this very topic. So that's why she has so readily to mind what they think of.
Yeah. So don't feel badly if I kind of disappear. But if you do want to contact me, I'm going to, you know, respond. I just need to know that you did it. So the other thing is, if I've gotten some friendship requests, and because of both Facebook and Instagram, and because of I've been contacted a couple times by people who have not been people or whatever, I am not just accepting people as friends anywhere. You have to, if I don't know who you are, I will not accept you. If I know who you are, I most certainly will accept you.
Although I'll first make sure that I'm not already friends with you
Right.
elsewhere, because I've been scammed before.
Yes, and I have too. So if you may receive a message from me saying, "Hey, did you do this? Did you send me XYZ? Did you send me this link? Did you send me this friendship request?" Because I have been scammed. So if you receive anything from me requesting money,
Not
or
us.
it's not us, okay? Because I accepted a friendship request thinking I knew the person, and somebody called me. Somebody said, "Hey, I saw that you did this. They offered me a friendship request. I saw you were friends. Do you realize, blah blah blah?" And I went and checked, and I got off that particular list. If you receive something from me asking for money, or selling you something or whatever, it's not me. I would never do that to you that way. So
We would never ask you out for money anyway.
no, but I might do a sale for something.
Yeah. We wouldn't just be like, give us money.
No, it wouldn't be give us money, and it wouldn't be like, oh, buy XYZ product.
Yeah.
No. So, if...
I mean, we did have that fundraiser for my surgery way back when, but that was
different. That was different, and I'd done it on the podcast.
Yeah.
We will hear it from multiple places.
Yeah, it
when I'm
won't
doing
be
something
just
like that.
from a random friendship request.
No, it won't be a friendship request and a hello, and then here's this, and this for you to buy.
Yeah.
No. So just giving you a heads up if for some reason it seems like we're not accepting your friendship
Yeah, because there
request.
seems to be a lot more of that going around, because in just all sorts of spheres. I know when I called Social Security to clear some confusion with my disability paperwork, I had to send in the paperwork again, even though I already sent it to them. Anyway, I got spitting mad about that. But regardless, I sent in my paperwork. When I called to verify that they didn't have my paperwork, while you're waiting, one of the messages that plays over and over again is, if you have received a call from Social Security and you suspect that you've been scammed, get off the phone and let us know immediately. And, we won't ask you this information or that information. Apparently it's become a big enough deal that, at least in our area, before you even talk to somebody, you're getting reminded about possible scams and warned about it.
Yeah, we've had multiple type scams. So
Yeah.
in fact, my husband picked up one where
Yeah.
he called him on it, and the guy's like, "Oh, we'll get you yet." So it's kind of frightening in a way. It's just not
Dad said he has his own
his own supervillain.
his own supervillain, his nemesis. I pictured like a Scooby-Doo villain. Oh,
Those darn kids
will get you.
Yep.
Or like the guy from Frosty's Snowman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except he actually had to go and do his thing because he wanted to get his stuff from Santa Claus. So
Yeah.
it must get busy.
But I think because he did dramatic like shaking of his
Yeah,
fists
yeah.
and stuff, that's
Yeah.
why I think of him as an over dramatic bad guy.
Okay, we're digressing.
We are very much digressing, my
Do you have anything else to say about your visit?
I mean, it was just checking. They were checking thyroid because thyroid cysts run in the family. So they just want to make sure every once in a while that that's not what's going on. That I don't have anything like that going on. But I'm mostly been, living between migraines. I have about 1 or 2 a week that require actual medication. I usually try to push it a little bit so that way I don't run out of meds. But for the most part, I mean, this is one of my better weeks, honestly.
I thought last week was a better week.
Oh, last week was awful.
Oh, the week
Mom.
before. The week before.
No, the week before was pretty bad too.
No, you had a better week.
That was at the beginning of October when I was working on all those special orders.
Okay.
And then ever since then, it's been like, vajwee. So, it's a change in weather, I think.
Yeah, it's been, and the weather has not been very cooperative for anybody.
No. The October slide is supposed to stop when October's over. My body hasn't gotten that memo.
2020 has its months mixed up.
Now my body is just like, oh, is that the way it's supposed to be?
Did you just try to be cool?
I can't do the head thing that,
I still see that little girl. So cute.
you gotta tell a story and then we'll be done.
No, I don't want to tell the story because not in this climate. It probably wouldn't be that
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, that has to do with that. Anything else?
I'm tired. Sorry, fatigue has been an issue.
Yeah, we're gonna just say that we're gonna be podcasting next week on Saturday, the following week on Monday, most likely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because we have haircuts.
Yeah, we have haircuts. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Our fabulous.
I'm surprised that mentioning the little girl who did the finger snap was not going to bring haircuts to your mind. Because that was at the hairdresser's.
I know. Anyway, Tabby is our hairdresser. She used to work at Image Makers, but now she's working for herself. Image Makers is where we go. And with all the pandemic and stuff, she just finally decided to move. You know, I think that's why she decided to move to her home. And so,
I wonder if it had been coming for a while.
I think it had been. Although I told her, I can't follow you. You're too far.
Yeah, we followed her from place to place.
I mean, we had her for like 20 years. And
yeah, I mean, like right out. I think she might have been out of
maybe a year or so out.
School.
She was young when we got her, but she knows all of the. Anyway, I had called her a while back to say, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, say, hey, when you come into the office, can you build into Image Makers, can you build some time in where you can stop and do our hair? And I told her everything, and she's like, oh, I don't work at Image Makers anymore. She said, but I'll come, or you can come here and I'll make sure nobody's there. I said, well, kind of don't want to come out there, and if you can tell us who you would suggest for over here at Image Makers, Anna or Crystal or whoever. And she said, no, I'll come. She said, just I can't do it for the next 3 weeks or so. So I called her when 3 weeks were over. She set it up for a Saturday. She's going to come in. She's going to do everything. She's going to, I wasn't going to recolor my hair, but I figured, darn it, 2020 took away my last year of having my hair colored. I'm going to have that done one more time. And Mike likes it. So I just don't want to look like,
Well, you said also, Tabby said that when you get older, it's actually better for your hair?
Yeah, it's better for your hair to have something done. So I'm going to ask her, more information about what I can do when I decide to just let it go, because I don't care about it.
You said like some people like dye it silver or whatever just to keep it.
Yeah, I'll have to see what happens.
Although it looks like you might do white instead of the silver, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but I do want to keep something to get the texture.
Because Grandma's more gray, and it looks like you're doing more of the white thing. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of cool, honestly.
I'm kind of happy about that.
Well, you always said that you wanted to go white.
You can see along the sides here. So you may see...
Because Grandma has like that rich gray. Mm-hmm. Like it's definitely gray. Mm-hmm. Whereas you definitely have more white.
So I'm hoping that eventually, like in 2 weeks' time, after the podcast that we had to move because she's coming, my hair will be a normal color, won't be so overgrown and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I just thought about it with the jeans. Dad did white down here in his beard, and you're doing white there, which means that I'll probably do the white instead of the gray with those two jeans.
It could be, or you could skip.
Or I could skip, yeah.
Yeah, but in any event, it's kind of, I'm not. Somebody asked me if I was afraid of going silver or if I was going to go silver. I'm not afraid of that. I just am not. Mike likes it. Excuse me. And I don't want to come out of COVID people thinking, oh my gosh, COVID really aged her. Completely vanity. Okay, complete vanity. But I kind of like to go out the way I came in and then just let it go from there. Because I kind of got stolen that year.
And I initially had planned to chop it all when she came, but I'm trying to maybe hold off until I can go a little more often because short hair is hard to maintain.
Yeah. And right now,
keep short.
Right now, I have no plans to cut my hair because my husband likes it long.
You like it long.
I do, but it's getting hard to maintain.
It is.
Because it's with layers, curls, we have layers, and it's just like all over the place. So that's what I was going to tell you about. Tabby's fabulous. She's going to come here. She's going to wear her mask, and we're going to wear our masks, and she's going to take care of us because she does that. And I wish if you are in this area in Virginia, I will definitely give you Tabby's name, and you should go to her because she's awesome.
Yes.
All right, because we don't ever tell people that we like.
Never.
Okay, so having said that, now we can really, now that we're hitting 2 hours, we can really...
I am so sorry, guys.
We can say goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen, good night, all that kind of stuff. We wish you a very blessed week. We will see you before Thanksgiving, God willing. So we want to wish you a very blessed week full of your knitting, crafting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. We hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 428, and that's a wrap. Oh, I forgot to come out. I do the other thing for the...
Did you do that? Let's do that one more time. I mean, what a wimpy.
I need a new one. I'm afraid of breaking it.
There we go. Well, the little drop thing is not, Whoopsie. It's a bunny.
It's a bunny.
And we're done.